What's going on? It's EK here, and I just came back from a Thursday showing of The Dark Phoenix, and here we're going to talk about the movie, if it's good, if it's not. There are going to be spoilers, so please go watch the movie if you haven't seen it yet. First, I'll give you a little bit of non-spoiler review, and then we'll go into the spoilers part, but I'll let you know when I do that. So, overall, I would say the movie, it's okay. I mean, it's not getting good ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not a lot of reviews. Seems like online so far are not very good. And I would say, yeah, that's about accurate. Like it's not the best, you know. It's definitely better than X3. I can tell you that. It's better than the old one. But that's not improving a lot more because the old one was already as bad as it gets. And I believe it's written by the same people, or like the same director, and so I don't know how he thought he would redeem himself. I don't know. He tried, but yeah, it's just not great because there's just a lot to the story that they don't really explain. That there's a lot that I'm just assuming, or maybe I'm trying to rationalize in my head. For example, what they already show in the trailer is Jean absorbing all this power, which makes her Dark Phoenix. And it's like, okay, wait, what didn't we already establish from the previous movie that she has the Phoenix power already? That like her innate power is like Phoenix-like, or at least like it gives that like the shape of a Phoenix or whatever. Like, didn't we already have that? Like, so I mean. Or maybe that's like the good power, it's like the good Phoenix, and then her absorbing whatever that cosmic entity is makes her dark. I'm like, am I supposed to assume that, or is that something completely different? And then you have Jessica Chastain's character, who's like this. I thought it was like part of like some kind of Hellfire Club thing going on, but no, it's like something completely different. And then yeah, you throw in all these like other random people. Also, in terms of like timeline wise, I don't know if it really makes sense because okay, the original timeline was in terms of all X-Men Fox movies started with, if we go in chronological order, not in terms of when they came out. So it goes with like the original Wolverine, right, which was terrible, and then it goes into X1, 2, and 3, and then it goes into the Wolverine when he goes to Japan and all that BS, and then at that point they basically say they're gonna go into like the Sentinel War that we don't really get to see, but it's shown in Days of Future Past, right? Because then they go back to First Class and show like, okay, here's like how we got together, and like that's how we X-Men started and all that bullcrap, and eventually leads up to Days of Future Past, but because of Days of Future Past, because of that movie. The original timeline led up to what that future was. So Wolverine jumps back in time, changes the past, and from that point on, it basically skews into a different timeline, right? If we go Back to the Future style, or skews into another era, or not even another era, like it erases the original and it just completely distorts it and then when Wolverine wakes up in the same time. The timeline's been changed because there's no longer Sentinels. There's no longer that Sentinel War and like all the mutants getting killed and those stuff. And when he wakes up, he's a teacher again, or he's a teacher now. The school exists. Jean is alive. Clearly, she's super redheaded, even more than before. And I think her eyes are too. So they bring back the original characters or the original actors. So clearly, Jean is back, but. In this movie, they infer something else. So I don't even know where that goes. But overall, the movie's okay. I would give it a matinee rating. Like go see it for cheap. I would not pay full price. I would not go to IMAX. It's not even shot in IMAX. It's optimized for IMAX. So and there's nothing at the end either. So don't even say for the end credits. So I'll say if you want to go see it just to kind of. If we're gonna finish the series, the fighting is pretty cool. How they use their powers and stuff is alright. But overall, it's just okay. At this point, I'm gonna start going to spoilers. So if you don't want to hear this, stop the video. go watch the movie and come back and watch the video. So, 3, 2, 1, spoiler time. Alright, so what the hell did I just watch? Like, seriously, okay. First off, we know how Jennifer Lawrence gets out of her contract. It's because it's just like, just kill me off, you know, like within the first like 5 minutes, which is basically what happens. You know, within the first 30 minutes of the movie, you know, she dies very heroically, and I think there was already like, and I know for her, like, she was tired of being a character. You know, she hated putting on the makeup, which is why there's so many so many scenes of her like as normal without makeup on. It's because putting on that makeup is a pain in the butt. Even Rebecca Romaine, the original Mystique, even she hated it. So it's no wonder that, you know, she doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. So she dies, and then Quicksilver gets a really quick. He doesn't die, but he gets eliminated super quick, almost as if like he's too powerful. Because, you know, his whole thing is speed, and, you know, there's so many situations where he could have just like completely turned the entire scenario into like the X-Men's favor. So immediately in the beginning, he gets injured, and he's like, you're done. So it was like, okay, you took him out of the equation. So now everyone's got to fight on their own, you know. And the whole thing is like, obviously, you know, the whole part, like, why Jean explodes is because Professor Xavier, you know, suppresses all of her powers and her motions and locks it in a bottle. But the only problem is that, you know, when you repress this stuff, it explodes. Even in modern psychology, it's like, you know, they tell people to like express your emotions, you know, deal with your issues. Don't just like collect it and hold it in, because one day it will just come out pouring like a volcano, you know. You're just gonna let it all come out. And Professor Xavier, I mean, I guess he's only a professor of genetics, so he's not a good professor in terms of psychology. You know, he tries to help people. Like, I mean, he has good intentions, but like, come on, bro. Like, you really like. Can you really say what you do is like for the best of like, you know, your students or whatever? And they go into a lot of drama in this one, where like, you know, Hank is like, you know, like, why can't you admit your mistakes? Like, you know, you suppressed her memories. You lied to her. Like, why did you do this? And he's like, oh, like, you know, and then he's in denial at first, but then he realizes what he did wrong, magically. But like, so many of the characters are like, they flip flop so quickly. You know, at one point, so Jean Grey, like, she runs away and finds Magneto. It's like, oh, how do you stop killing people? You know, because like, I can't stop. I keep hurting everyone around me. Like, you know, you killed a lot of people. How do you do it? And then Eric goes into the spiel about, you know, I lived my whole life on revenge, and I thought killing people would make me feel better, but it didn't. So I stopped. And then the second he hears like, oh, Raven's dead, okay, I'm gonna go revenge time. And it's like, what the crap? Like you just said, like, killing people doesn't help you make you feel any better, and that's why you stop. But I mean, granted, it's Raven, I guess, you know, and it's that person that really makes you, that like you really loved, so like you feel that anger. But you just told her like you're not gonna kill, like you don't want to kill anymore because it doesn't help. And then the second you hear that Raven's gone, like you're gonna go kill somebody. Like, and it's just like what? Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess people flip. I don't know. Like, I mean, I want to give it a pass because of the person, you know, because it's like, oh, it's someone that he really, really cared about. So obviously he's gonna go do something about it. But at the same time, it's like he's just hypocritical, you know. But anyways, aside from all that, then you have like Jessica Chastain and all her like all these like aliens who are clearly just dicks. You know, they're following this power, this cosmic power all across the galaxy, because it has the potential to like bring life. But it doesn't seem like their people really thought it through, because the power is clearly super powerful, and they say like, oh, anything it touches, it pretty much destroys, because it destroys entire planets, their home planet, you know. But the only thing it hasn't destroyed is Jean Grey. But then Jessica Chastain, her character, is like, okay, I'm gonna take the power from you, and absorb it, even though I already know it's probably gonna kill me, but I'm gonna take it from you. Did you, like, were you gonna do this the whole time, or were you gonna put it into like a container, or like, what the heck? Like, you knew it was gonna kill everything or everyone, and you know, Jean Grey was the exception, but now you decide to absorb it yourself. It's like, either you just, you know, suddenly got a really boost in confidence, or you completely forgot what you just talked about in the last 20 minutes, you know, about this cosmic entity being so powerful and it kills everything, but now you're gonna absorb it from her so that you can control it yourself or some BS. And I'm like, what the crap? Like, where did this come from? And like, yeah, and then it goes on like, so I'm like, I know I'm ranting a lot, but yeah, that's like just so many. Those are the inconsistencies that make the movie like makes no sense. Like what? Like where is this coming from? You know? Okay, let's talk about the good. The good that is in the movies, like the fighting is really good. Like the actions. You don't get a whole lot. I mean, you get a lot of more Storm. Like I really like Storm hasn't been fully utilized in a lot of the movies, but now she's like a lot. She's a lot better and be like, you know, using her lightning. Pretty much, that's all she uses is lightning and some cold. I feel like they dumbed down Magneto a little bit, or like they depowered him a lot. And I thought the whole point was like from Days of Future, or not Days of Future Past, but from Apocalypse, was that he like unleashed his potential, right? Like he can move the Earth itself, and it seems like in this movie he could have done more, but he held back a lot. I mean, because like the whole point of him, like his power is that he can control so much more, and like, you know, towards the end of Apocalypse, he was like just moving everything around him, and I'm like, where the heck was that, bro? Like. And I feel like he didn't do any of that. One of the best things was Nightcrawler. Like, if you guys seen X2, the first opening scene of Nightcrawler when he attacks the White House, that's like one of the best fight scenes in terms of X-Men like movies. Like that was like one of the coolest scenes. How, because it's exactly how he would fight. You know, he would, you know, teleport, open, kick someone, and then teleport away before anyone could do anything to him, and then teleport somewhere else, like behind someone, and like destroy them, and then teleport again. And basically they go through that sequence again because he gets pissed off, and then he basically goes through all these aliens by doing that. You know, the best part was when he teleported this one girl like out of nowhere, like away, and then he teleports away, and the train just like boom, like mows her down. I'm like, ooh, that's tight. And one of the funniest parts was like, again, the inconsistencies was like, so these aliens, I guess, are super strong. They clearly have some kind of power, like some kind of teleconnect. I don't know, like it's kind of weird. They didn't really go into like who they are or like what kind of powers they have, but clearly they have super strength. Regular bullets can't kill them, but yet a stabbing through the neck can. So that's, which is, I don't even understand that. However, 50 caliber bullets can kill them because I guess maybe it takes away more flesh before they can heal or something. But the people, so like everyone sees this, Magneto sees this, and at the end when Jessica Chastain's person comes in, you know, he moves all of the weapons inside the car, which is like 100 pistols and like, you know, M4s and whatnot, and just all shoots them at Jessica Chastain, and it doesn't do anything. And in my head, I'm like, dude, you just saw like all these soldiers use small arms against these guys, and they does nothing. What makes you think 100 of them will do something? You know, maybe you thought like more the better, but you saw that 50 cal is the only thing that kills them. So why didn't you even try that? Like, why don't you just, like, what's the point of using guns when you have metal all around you on a train? Just like squish her, you know? Like, I guess, you know, it's one of those things like you can't use logic in a movie. Yeah, movie's okay. Go watch it if you really want to. If you don't, if you're like on the rocks about it, about spending money, probably just wait until it comes out like on DVD or whatever, you know, or rent it from iTunes, whatever. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like these movie reviews, please give this video a like, subscribe for more content, make sure to turn on the notification bell for new videos, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, take it easy.